So I'm sitting here writing the script for this week's video, aka things I wish I knew when I started YouTube, and it's really bringing me back to when I would first start to make YouTube videos, because I'm running through all the things that I never really did and comparing it to what I do now. That's kind of the premise. I want to talk about things that I didn't do that I do now, what I would recommend to do, because basically these things, they all resulted in terrible videos when I first started. The first thing I learned is to have a plan for your video. Basically not just winging it, having something there that's concise, that you can see, that you can read, so you know what to talk about. This helps the video flow more smoothly, especially if you write out your plan in sequential order, which is what I recommend doing, having it in order that you want to talk about. But I never did this because I never saw it as a huge necessity. But as time went on, as my videos got more intricate and required more steps to create, a plan definitely helps. And I'm not saying go out and write every single word that you want to say in your videos. I mean, just list down bullet points of things you want to talk about. Maybe if you have a vision in your head and you have specific shots you want to get for your video, write them down too. But you don't have to plan out every second of your video. Just bullet points so you can keep your mind on track as you're recording. And another thing, since back then I didn't know much about editing, if I would have had a plan, it would have saved editing, because then the video would have flowed better and there wouldn't have been as many random parts that are in there that could have been cut out that had no contribution to the plot. Another thing I learned is more about the quality of a video. Basically, back in them days, I would post daily videos. They were absolutely awful, but I would post every single day, and this also just degrades the overall quality of the content in the video. It wasn't really the clearest thing to listen to. And in this part, I'm not saying be a perfectionist, you know, make sure every little aspect of your video is perfect. No, you don't really have to do that, because let's be honest, you're always gonna find a mistake. Take the time to make sure your video is presentable, it's as good as it can possibly be, but you're still producing a reasonable amount of content in a certain amount of time. Anyway, all the shots were rarely ever rehearsed. Now on the lighting, this is something that I never did at the very start, which is kind of why the videos were so poor in quality, because if you just simply buy a light, you can make any camera look decent. On audio, arguably one of the most important aspects of a video. Again, I never really thought too much about audio, so any noises in the background that was happening in my videos, you'd hear a vacuum cleaner, you'd hear things in the background, so it'd be kind of hard to focus on my voice. And what also happened is sometimes I didn't realize how I was holding my phone, so I'd be going about filming, holding my phone, and turns out my finger was over the microphone or something, so it'd sound all muffled, it wouldn't sound good. Or I'd adjust my grip on how I'd hold the phone, and you'd kind of get this noise, which obviously is not pleasant at all. So now I want to talk about being aware of what the camera is filming. This is why I think almost every YouTuber really enjoys the flip LCD on cameras, because you can simply glance over and see, oh, this is exposed right, I'm composed right, the white balance is good. You can see all those aspects as you're filming. Back in these days, I would always hold my phone like this because the rear camera gives the best quality, so I'd just be looking at the back of my phone and have no idea what I was filming. And to be honest, I never worried how the video looked. I always just kind of assumed it looked good, but in reality, it would be way off center. Not to mention, it would be extremely shaky. It'd be very dark sometimes, be very bright sometimes. And needless to say, composition was never really on my mind. I never worried about composing myself. I never worried about having myself center. And for the final one, we're gonna be doing it old school, handheld, just like a vlog. Basically how my videos used to look back in the day. So I want to talk about the YouTube algorithm, because back in the day I didn't know this was actually a thing. I didn't know there was a YouTube algorithm. I thought that with enough time, enough grinding, enough videos posted, things would just kind of fall together and go into place and everything would just kind of start to work out. I didn't know there was an algorithm to help you grow. I didn't know how it worked and didn't know how it was used. I didn't know how to utilize it. I didn't know audience retention was actually a huge part of a YouTube video. My old videos were very long, they were drawn out, they were overall just uninteresting. There wasn't much editing done. The visuals didn't really look that good at all, so it was kind of hard to watch. The audio was bad, so it was hard to listen to. I also didn't realize that to make a watchable video, you had to spend days filming, planning, editing, all of this stuff that you really don't think takes that long. But in reality, to even make these halfway watchable videos, it takes me days to plan, film, and edit to get these videos posted. I mean, I found that once a week works really well for me. It gives me time to get the video done, to make it as nice as I can, and have a little bit of free time to myself to do whatever I want. And that's also a very important part. Make sure that in your YouTube time, you still have some free time. I know some people say they dedicate 24/7 of their lives to it, and that's okay. If you're happy and you're doing 24/7 YouTube, there's nothing wrong with that. But feel free, take some time to yourself, hang out with friends, do whatever you want that makes you happy. And if you've been grinding non-stop, feel free to take maybe a couple weeks off. Kind of have a nice refresher. But that's pretty much it for me, guys. Thank you all for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you are new, and comment down below what you guys do for your YouTube channels, what things you've learned, and maybe just some other ideas to help add to this video. I will see you guys next time. Peace out.